You have things to do. You know you have things to do. But you sit down to start and nothing happens. The task is right there. You know exactly what it requires. And yet your brain just won't engage. So you scroll for a bit. Tell yourself you'll start in 10 minutes. 10 minutes becomes an hour. And by the end of the day, you feel guilty for not doing the things on your to-do list. That cycle isn't a motivation problem. It's an energy problem. And it has a completely different solution. Let's start with why this is happening to so many people. Mental exhaustion isn't just about working too hard. In fact, most people who feel drained aren't working harder than ever. They're just never fully switching off. Think about your average day. You wake up and immediately check your phone. Your brain starts processing news, messages, opinions, notifications before it's even had a chance to settle. You spend the day jumping between tasks, conversations, emails, and decisions. And then in the evening, instead of genuinely resting, you scroll. More input, more stimulation, more processing. Your brain never gets a real break. There's also something called decision fatigue. Every choice you make, even tiny ones, like what to eat or what to reply, uses cognitive resources. And when those resources run low, your brain doesn't just get tired. It starts resisting new tasks, especially complex or unfamiliar ones. And there's a third layer. A lot of people are carrying a mental load that has nothing to do with their to-do list. Unresolved stress, background anxiety, things they're avoiding thinking about. That stuff doesn't sit quietly in the background. It quietly consumes energy all day, even when you're not consciously thinking about it. So when you sit down to work and feel like you have nothing, it's not because you're broken. It's because the tank was already nearly empty before you even started. Here's something worth saying clearly. There is a real difference between laziness and burnout. And most people who think they're lazy are actually burned out. Laziness, in the traditional sense, means you have the energy and capacity to do something, and you're simply choosing not to. The resources are there. The motivation isn't. Burnout and overwhelm are different. The resources genuinely aren't there. It's not a choice. It's a state. And trying to push through it the same way you'd push through laziness doesn't work. It usually makes it worse. Here's a simple test. When you're being lazy, you generally feel fine. A little restless, maybe slightly guilty, but basically okay. Lazy people enjoy their rest. When you're burned out, rest doesn't feel restful. You spend your free time feeling vaguely anxious. You feel guilty doing nothing, but you also can't make yourself do something. You enjoy things less than you used to. Small tasks feel surprisingly heavy. That distinction matters because the solution to laziness is action. Just start. But the solution to burnout is not just start. It's recovery first, then action. And skipping the recovery step is why so many people keep running on empty and wondering why nothing's improving. Before we get to the system, let's name the things that are quietly making your energy problem worse. Unfinished tasks living in your head. Every incomplete task you haven't written down anywhere creates what psychologists call an open loop. Your brain keeps a background thread running for each one, not actively thinking about it, but checking on it. Repeatedly. Those open loops collectively drain significant cognitive energy. The fix isn't finishing everything. It's writing everything down so your brain can let go. Sleeping with your phone. Most people's last input before sleep and first input on waking is their phone. This means your brain's wind down and startup periods, the most cognitively vulnerable times of day, are both consumed by external information. The morning check alone can set a reactive, fragmented mental state that affects your focus for hours. The micro-decision pile. A lot of daily energy gets spent on decisions that could have been made in advance. What to eat, what to wear, what to work on first. When the structure of your day is undefined, every one of these requires fresh mental effort. It's not the decisions themselves, it's making them in the moment, from scratch, every single day. Passive consumption mistaken for rest. Scrolling, watching random videos, drifting between tabs, these feel like rest because they're low effort. But they're not neutral. They're keeping your brain in a low-level processing state that prevents genuine recovery. Real rest involves genuine downtime, stillness, nature, physical movement, or something that doesn't require sustained attention. Here's the system. It has 3 parts, and all 3 are designed to produce real output even when your energy is low. Part 1, the short list. Every morning, before you open your phone, write down 3 things. Just 3. The 3 tasks that, if completed, would make the day count. Not your full to-do list. Not everything you should ideally do. The 3 things that actually matter. When you're exhausted, having a long task list doesn't help you prioritize. It helps you feel overwhelmed. A short list removes that friction. You always know what to work on next. And 3 completed items, even small ones, is a genuinely productive day. Part 2, the 2-minute start. For each task on your short list, the only commitment required is 2 minutes of starting. Not finishing. Not doing it well. Just starting. Open the document. Read the first line of the thing you've been avoiding. Write 1 sentence. This works because the hardest part of any task, when you're depleted, is initiation. Not the actual work. The starting. Once you're in it, the inertia shifts. Most of the time, 2 minutes becomes 20. But even if it doesn't, you made contact with the task. That counts. Part 3, energy matching. Not all tasks require the same kind of energy. Some tasks are cognitively demanding. They require focus, creativity, or complex thinking. Others are mechanical. They just need to be done. When your energy is low, match your task to your state. Save the hard thinking for when you're at your sharpest. Fill the low energy periods with the tasks that don't require much. Emails, admin, organizing, anything that moves things forward without requiring peak performance. The goal is not maximum output. It's consistent output, even on the bad days. If you're watching this in a low energy period, I want to leave you with one thing. The version of you that was more productive, more motivated, more on top of things isn't gone. That's not a past self you need to reinvent. It's a current self that's temporarily running low. The goal isn't a perfect system. It's a workable one. One that keeps you moving, even slowly, even imperfectly, even on the hard days. Because here's what I've seen to be true. People who get through low energy periods well are not the ones who pushed hardest through them. They're the ones who kept the smallest version of their habits alive and trusted that momentum would return. It does return, but only if there's something to return to. So start with 3 tasks. 2 minutes to begin. Match your energy to what you're doing. Protect your mornings. Remove the friction. Let the small wins be enough for now. That's not giving up on more. That's how you get back to more. If this video gave you something useful, hit the like button. It helps this channel reach more people who need to hear this kind of thing. And if you want more honest, practical videos on building a life that actually works, subscribe to Goal Getter Guild. New video every week. No hype, just the real stuff. Drop a comment and tell me, what's the one thing on your shortlist today? I'll read every single one. I'll see you in the next one.